Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the BSR Kia Club Series, rounds 11 and 12 from Charlotte, North Carolina. We're past the halfway stage of the series, which is, of course, brought to you in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs. My name is Paul Smith. Dan Blake couldn't be with us this week. He's been away at an awards ceremony, getting third place in Club Racer of the Year in the UK, so congratulations to him on that. But joining me this week is Alex Simpson from the main show, from the Pro Series, so he'll be joining us in a second. Just firstly to go through the standings as we are, and as I say, we're at the halfway stage of the season, and Adam Gosling is currently in the lead of the championship by 80 points ahead of Maciej Sakovic. He's managed to pull out a little bit of a gap there, has Adam, with John Richardson close behind Maciej in third place, Michael Hall right behind him, so it's a real tight battle for that second place at the moment. Then Philip Johansson in fifth, with Matt Bunn in sixth, and Pete Harrod 1 point behind in seventh place. Liam Atkins in eighth, 430 points. He's pretty much out of it, you would say, out of the title championships, with Neil Bamber in 9th and Ben Hackerson in 10th place. And in the team standings as well, we've got CQR, they're at the top of that standings at the moment with 1,171 points, with Fail Racing second on 1,080 points. Club 73, they are up into third place, with Gombrooke falling down to fourth. ARF and Team iGlazing battling it out over 5th place in the championship, with Right Motorsport in 7th. Powerslider in 8th, with Team Superior in 9th. Half-Baked Racing in 10th, and in that final place it is Team Mad. And as I say, Alex Simpson joining us after, as I say, our colleague getting third place in Club Racer of the Year at the Downforce Radio Awards, so good achievement for him, and good evening to you, Alex.
Yeah, good evening all. Thanks for having me. Congrats to Dan. Hope he's not getting too merry out on the awards night. So,
oh, you know what it's like with these awards nights. But Charlotte, North Carolina, we're on the road course around this oval. It's really a track of two halves. You've got the tight infield section to start with, and then you open up onto the oval section, and it always produces some really close racing here.
yeah, it's going to be great actually. I mean, I think it's worth pointing out we're under the lights, so track conditions out there very, very cold. We know with these Kias, we see it in the Pro Series all the time as well, that it's going to be tricky these first lap or so, you know, those rear tyres just to build up pressure, but once they do, there'll be a lot of grip out there and the drivers will be racing hard, and it's going to be some great action, but let's just hope everybody survives the the first lap. I was just having a quick look at the standings as you was calling them through. It's really, really close, isn't it? From second place sort of down to fourth. I mean, you have to think any one of those top four drivers still very much well within the fight for the championship. But yeah, at this point, halfway through the season, that sort of second, third, and fourth, there's absolutely nothing separating them. So great to see, and some of the team names as well. Epic. I'm loving it.
Absolutely. Well, this is what you get with the Kia Club Series. It is the feeder series, of course, to the Pro Series, and hopefully next season in the Pro Series we will be seeing some of these drivers in there. But, well, qualifying's finished, and it's Clinton Bell who's come out on pole position with Matt Bunn in second, 0.2 of a second between those two, so Clinton Bell obviously getting a really good lap there. Maciej Sakovic in third, with Michael Hall in fourth, Alex Bristow in fifth, and Ben Hackerson in 6th, with Pete Harrod, Neil Bamber 7th and 8th, Chaz Draycott 9th, and in 10th place Adam Gosling, the championship leader, down in 10th, but with plenty of overtaking opportunities around here, he'll be hoping for a good run. Benjamin Gregory, newcomer to the championship, he's in 11th with Max Wright, James Leggett in 13th with Sam Reed 14th, Roy Viverki 15th, Liam Atkins 16th, Trevor Blackburn 17th, Jay Wright 18th, Chris Sherburn 19th, and Jim Flanagan down in 20th place. Noticeable that Philip Johansson down in 21st place, really not getting a good time in there, but just quickly looking at that, 1st to 23rd all within 1 second, so really close lap times around here.
Yeah, I think nature of the track, really. I think the racing is going to be even closer as well. They start drafting each other around that oval section, and it's could be anybody's race, I would think. Doesn't matter who's got pole position here. We could be looking at somebody from, say, 8th, 9th place on the grid, might be able to get a couple of good runs, work their way towards the front. This is going to be a great race.
And of course, it's a fixed setup, so everybody running the same setup, so plenty of drafting is going to go on, but we're getting ready now for the start of this race, just a few seconds before the start, and now the revs will rise, the drivers will look towards the start gantry, the red lights will come on now, and we are getting ready for 20 minutes around Charlotte, North Carolina. Away we go from the start, a slow start from Clinton Bell at the front to Matt Bunn coming alongside Magic Sakovic, looking down the inside as they're going to tight first left-hander, lots of smoke and cars going sideways. Are they all able to make it through on that first corner?
Look, there was a little bit going off a bit further back, but everybody's managed to make it through. That's great. They're still drifting around at the moment through turn 2 and 3 as well, so it's tricky out there for them, you can tell. Give them half a lap, I think they'll be okay though.
Clinton Bell making a break for it, Matt Bunn going sideways around the right-hander there, with Magic Sakovic really trying to put the pressure on Bunn. He's not wanting Clinton Bell to get a breakaway, and this is falling right into Clinton's hands, because he'll want to make as much gap as possible at the front to try and break that draft.
Yeah, he needs to. That's the thing. He's going to need a good sort of 1.8 seconds. I don't think he's going to get it. They're going to get tucked up behind him really quickly, and they're just going to get sucked up to his rear wing in no time. Just look at the speed difference really down the straight once you're in the draft.
And so Clinton Bell at the front as we come around to finish that first lap of the race, with Matt Bunn now and the draft effect coming into play here. The top 4, they're really neck and neck. There's only about half a second between them. Matt Bunn looking down the inside, and he's made contact. Magic Sakovic into Matt Bunn. Around he goes. There's more carnage going on at the first corner. And will we end up seeing a safety car there, because there's quite a few cars blocking the track?
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I think it really started with,
and it's still incidents going on there. And that track is, the yellow has been called, and I'm not surprised, because that track is completely blocked there. There's 2 cars upside down on the side. Carnage is the one word. Ben Gregory has got an awfully damaged car. I don't know if you've seen that, but his car is barely going in a straight line. It's bouncing all over the place. And he's really struggling there.
It just looked like it all started really with Ben Hackerson just got into the back of Sakovic ahead of him, who then in turn hit Bunn. And poor old Hackerson as well, he hit the inside wall there that would normally be sort of like the pit lane there. So, and just bounced back into the circuit. He took out his teammate at the same time. And everybody else just caught up in that as well. Absolute. So what can happen in that turn 1? It's pretty narrow there, and there's no room for margin with walls everywhere.
Absolutely, there was one of the CQR cars. I think it was Michael Hall caught Ben Hackerson on the inside there. But as we say, just cars going everywhere after that initial incident. And I'm trying to find out. When Ben Gregory came back onto the track, he came across Philip Johansson's car, and then that just led to the track being blocked.
Yeah, I'm just having a quick look at that back now. I mean, he was an absolute passenger as well. He's got no engine, but you're right, he just turned straight back into the traffic there, didn't he? Really didn't give. Should have just held it there. His engine was blown. He weren't going to do anything. But you're right, it just caused an absolute mayhem. So, welcome to the league, or welcome to Ben Gregory for the series there.
Absolutely, it's not the warmest of welcomes. But what we're going to do now, while we've got the chance to have a quick word with him, we're going to have a word with our Apex colleague Andrew Woodhouse while we're behind the safety car. And Andrew, just talk us through, did you manage to get through that first of all?
I think somehow we did, yes. I just saw a load of cars just all piled up in the first corner, so I decided to just keep going, and I literally ploughed through it, and I don't seem to have, I've got a little bit of damage I think, but it seems like it's alright.
Yeah, you just came out just behind. Yeah, you just made a little bit of contact with 1 or 2 cars, but
I've made up 17 places.
Yeah, you're up to 10th place from starting in 26. So,
I don't know if you boys can give me a hand and tell me what the car looks like, because I can't. I've got no idea really what.
Front end looks fairly okay. It's just the rear looks like it's got a bit of damage, so you're okay.
Think I need to pit?
No.
It's not the worst looking Kia I've ever seen, but then again, I am a Pro Series driver, so we know about damaged Kias.
Oh yes. What was it that started all that off then?
So basically, as we were describing, there was Ben Hackerson got into the back of Magic Sakovic, who turned Matt Bunn around, and then it just all seemed to just all domino effects all the way down the field and just block the track, and you managed to just get a little couple of knocks, but nothing much. But
I did netcode through a car as well, which is quite helpful.
So you're up to 9th now.
Yes.
On the standings because of somebody
I think it's
hitting.
more than that as well. I think it's 8th now, possibly.
But so with this restart, so you'll obviously be restarting this lap, do you feel that you can maybe make up some more places now?
Well, I can have a go. I mean, these guys are quicker than me. I think they were much quicker in qualifying, but I was informed that most of the laps were assisted laps with slipstream. Mine wasn't, so maybe we can. I don't know.
Yeah, don't crash into the back of them.
I was looking for the car on the left and he disappeared, and then no, I think we've got a good chance. I think if we can keep the tyres in good shape, I think there's can move forward. I mean, we've got 14 minutes left, so it's a shorter time to have the tyres to last. So yeah, go for it. Why not?
Well, give it your best, Andrew. We'll catch up with you later and let you get on to concentrating on the car. So Andrew Woodhouse there for us, and Alex, with this rolling restart, what's the key to a good restart then?
Yeah, well, I think we've seen it plenty of times in the Pro Series as well. Back the pack up a little bit. Make sure you don't go too soon, so you have to check up halfway during the restart, and you should be all good. I was looking at some of the liveries for a second. Sorry. And I just love James Leggett's livery as well. That
Christmas wrapping,
present wrapping Kia Optima out there. That's awesome.
Absolutely, and I was just going to say that it's not like I've ever done anything like that on the restart, catching up to a safety car again. Indianapolis earlier this year, but anyway, we're getting ready for the restart. And Clinton Bell's going to lead them round. He's not really backing up the pack too much. He's keeping up with the pace car, so maybe he's hoping that just as soon as the pace car goes in, get on it and try and get the jump on him.
Yeah, I think you're right. We'll just wait for that safety car to duck in, and then he'll just go from it there. He won't try and get a jump or anything. It's probably a lot safer to do that, to be fair.
The big winners from all of that, just before we go, is James Leggett, started in 13th up to 5th. Jay Wright started 18th up to 8th as well. The pace car comes in and away they go indeed. And Clinton Bell is leading us round. The green flag is out, so we are racing again. It's Clinton Bell in the lead. Maciej Sakovic in 2nd place, who managed to survive that first incident. And Alec Bristow up to 3rd place. Pete Harrod is in 4th place, but challenging Alec Bristow around the outside. He's going to have the inside into the next corner. Decides against it, and Alec Bristow just getting the back end a little bit loose. The tyres just cooled off a little bit, and they're just going to have to take it easy. But James Leggett, as we say, up to 5th place. But championship leader Adam Gosling is having a look down the inside.
Yeah, Gosling got a great exit out of that sort of turn 2 there, and he's going to have to carry it all the way around. He's going to have to go around the outside, avoid the gate, runs in a little bit deep. That's let Leggett get definitely the advantage, but they're still going to be side by side as they come onto the oval section, and somehow Gosling carries so much more speed than Leggett there, and he's around the outside and clear, and actually now it's Jay Wright that's starting to put a little bit of pressure onto Leggett.
And Clinton Bell at the front is under serious pressure from Maciej Sakovic. He's in the tow. They've managed to break away a little bit from Alec Bristow, who's battling away with Pete Harrod. So these two for the lead. They're trying to make it a 2-horse race, but if they battle, they're going to allow Alec Bristow and Pete Harrod to catch up to them.
Yeah, Sakovic doesn't look for a move this time, and actually those the duo behind them of Bristow and Harrod back on their tails already as well, so that just goes to show the level of draft that you get around this Charlotte Oval section.
Jay Wright looking down the inside of James Leggett, just decided against it at the last moment. He's now got to worry about Andrew Woodhouse because he's caught up to the back of Jay. He's going to be battling for that 7th place. And behind them, we've got a gaggle of cars. You've got Tristan Bodis, Charlie Richardson, Jim Flanagan, the man with no luck in this series. He's in 11th place. Neil Rocks, another man who's looking for a good result here, with Dave Crozier right behind him, and Ben Warburton. And it's just a whole line of cars, one after the other, in that battle over 9th place.
Yeah, we've seen some great packs before, and this is another one. Just turning our attention towards the front again. Pete Harrod managed to get a move done on Alex Bristow, so he's up into 3rd place and closing in on Sakovic as well, while we were focused our attention a little bit further back there.
Yeah, Pete Harrod, of course, a race winner this season. Last race actually, he won at Bathurst, so he's proven that he's an adaptable driver. He, of course, qualified pole at Silverstone as well, so he's able to show a bit of pace. We've seen Benjamin Hackerson has made it up past Trevor Blackburn on this lap because he's looking down the inside of Chris Sherburn as well. But Ben Hackerson, of course, who got involved in that incident at the start, and he's having to make a recovery drive, but doing well so far from the back there.
I wonder if Leggett's got some sort of damage as well, because Goslim's managed to get on around now, and sorry, it's right, isn't it? No, right's through, sorry. Right managed to get through, and now Leggett's coming under a little bit of pressure from Woodhouse as well, so I don't know if he picked up some damage or something from that earlier incident, but seems to be struggling out there compared to, earlier on, but obviously from 18th on the grid he made up a lot of places, so perhaps just sort of levelling itself out.
I'm just looking further back. Dave Crozier taking the novel line of trying to break the toe, going onto the apron down the back straight. That's not really strictly within the rules, is it, of oval racing? But looking down the inside of Ben Warburton is Liam Atkins, and Liam Atkins has made it through down the inside onto the first corner, but Ben Warburton now is trying to make that move back on Liam down the inside through this turn 2, and we've got an incident ahead as well. There's somebody made a little bit of contact, there was smoke, but everyone's seeming to carry on at the moment.
Yeah, I can't quite see what that was. Like you say, everybody's continuing, no major issues out there. It's getting a bit tasty behind James Leggett right now. Those 4 cars really looking to get a run on him if they can.
Yeah, Tristan Boddas has caught right up to Andrew Woodhouse on this lap there, and so is Jay Wright. So Jay
must have dropped back then.
Yeah,
Jay was ahead of these guys.
So that must have been the incident that we heard on the coverage. But now, Andrew Woodhouse looking to the high line. He's trying to make that move around the outside of James Leggett, but he's not got the draft now. That's the problem. So he's going to be limited to the top speed. And here comes Tristan Boddas and Jay Wright trying to make it 3 wide down the first straight. James Leggett going defensive down the inside into turn 1. Andrew Woodhouse trying around the outside, and everybody seems to hold position at the moment, and nobody makes contact either. Impressive.
Yeah, that's great. That is Neil Rocks and Jim Flanagan as well, just a little bit further back, just having a little battle there side by side through the first sector there. They're pretty much levelled out as they were, and just tuck in front of who's that? Sorry, that is Neil, just in front of them, isn't there? So yeah, some interesting battles going on out there as well. This little pack top behind James really is where all the action's at.
But up the front, Pete Harrod has taken the lead from Clinton Bell, and Clinton Bell's under intense pressure now from Maciej Sakovic, who's looking to try and get the draft and get that move done, because he doesn't want Pete Harrod to pull away from him as through the final corners they go. But now Clinton Bell right onto the back of Pete Harrod is looking round the outside. Is that going to work? Because Maciej Sakovic is looking down the inside. He's looking for another place. Clinton Bell round the outside, Pete Harrod the side by side through that first corner, and Clinton Bell makes it stick.
That's a great move round there as well. So these 3 very evenly matched right now, as Sakovic has to look up the inside. Harrod did all that work to get himself to the lead and finds himself in 3rd place again.
And with 6.5 minutes left in this race, you don't want to find yourself at the front of the pack going on to the last lap, really, do you? Because if they're close enough behind and they get the draft, you could be losing 1, maybe 2 places on that final lap.
Yeah, you have to think the person in 2nd place definitely got the advantage on the final lap. So, although it's not necessarily a slam dunk, if you can force the guy just to go a little bit high, then you might just be able to hold on to it.
Andrew Woodhouse has made it past James Leggett, so he's up to 6th place now on this lap. Tristan Boddas is the next one in that queue of traffic, and it is a queue, because there must be about 6 cars behind him. It's like he's towing a caravan down a country road, is that queue.
Yeah, that's just crazy. There's some side-by-side battle going a little bit further back as well. So battles here, there and everywhere are having trouble keeping up with everything.
Yeah, Chris Sherburn and Ben Hackerson going side-by-side into those final 2 turns with Trevor Blackburn at the back there. But yeah, at the front, we've got Clinton Bell under intense pressure from Magic Sakovic. Pete Harrod looking busy as well. Not at all, a little bit of contact from Magic Sakovic into the back of Clinton Bell, but Pete Harrod, they're all staying in line.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see a couple of changes of position up the front there again. I think Adam Gosling and Alex Bristow, they're just waiting quite patiently. They're not getting involved, they're just giving a little bit of room, seeing how these three, they've seen them fighting hard, and yeah, maybe they're going to get ready to pounce maybe 1 or 2 laps from the end.
Well, I can tell you, Alec Bristow has actually moved up a position on this lap, and you can see he was behind Adam Gosling at the start of this lap. So now down the back straight, this front gaggle going toe-to-toe once again into that final corner. Clinton Bell with that damage on the back of the car. How much will that affect his top speed? Because a little bit of aero damage could affect him on these straights now, as going side by side. Magic Sakovic looking to the outside. Pete Harrod, he's looking busy, he's trying to make a move. Adam Gosling's going around the outside of Alec Bristow as well, and down the inside Clinton Bell, but Magic Sakovic takes the lead back again. Clinton Bell down to second place, he's getting close. Pete Harrod behind him also battling away, and Adam Gosling has made it past Alex Bristow, so he's moved up a position back up to fourth, but he runs a little bit wide, and that gives Alec Bristow the chance to look down the inside. It's his right-hander, but decides against it.
Yeah, great move again for Sakovic to get around the outside. It seems like that's the favoured line. If you can get the run, you'll be forced up high, but you can maintain the speed going around the outside, and that's a couple of overtakes we've seen there now. So, and actually Sakovic pulled a little bit of a gap, but it's just not going to be enough. They're going to be on him in no time.
We've got about 3.5 minutes left in this race. James Leggett has gone out of this race, as something's happened to him. Jim Flanagan is up to 7th place, a really good meeting for him so far. He's had nothing but bad luck in this season, and well, for once something is turning out right, but knowing my luck, I've just given him the kiss of death. But at the front, they're going 3 wide into turn 1. Clinton Bell down the inside of Magic Sakovic, but Sakovic late on the brakes, taking that wide line. Is he able to hold it around the outside here? He's going to have the inside onto the right-hander. They're going very close to each other, and Pete Harrod is looking down the inside of Bell. He's trying to follow Sakovic through down the inside. It looks like he'll make it work.
Yeah, that's a great move. Not easy to do there. You're constantly flirting with a slowdown penalty, taking too much of that inside white line there as well. No curbs or anything, just follow the line around and hope for the best. And yeah, great. Just managed to nail it there.
Now, we say that they're under the lights here, but that infield section has no light in at all, and these headlights on the Kias, they're not like a GT car. They've got very poor headlights, so it's really difficult to see where that inside white line is through those corners.
Yeah, I mean, it's more a case of just get used to it and just remember where you are, I think, isn't it?
And Magic Sakovic, he's running wide through that final turn. I think he's realised what's happening in this race. He's let Pete Harrod through onto the start-finish straight. Now, has he got a little bit of a problem? Because Clinton Bell is alongside him as well, going into the first corner. We've got 2 minutes left on the clock, so we're going to get another couple of laps in this race. And well, is Magic just playing a tactical game there, as we said, just to try and get the right position on track to be able to make that move on the last lap?
Yeah, well, he's dropped all the way back down to 3rd place, so that certainly wasn't what he was hoping for. You know, 2nd place is where he wants to be if he's going to play it tactically, even.
I can tell you at the moment, the person who's going to be in line for the reverse grid pole is Ben Hackerson down in 19th place. Everyone below that has been lapped or has gone out this race, so quite a few retirements for this race actually. But as we go through those turns now, we've got Pete Harrod under pressure once again from Clinton Bell. He's looking to make a move round the outside, down the back straight here, into the final 2 turns here on this oval section, and Magic Sakovic just there waiting patiently. Oh, just got a little bit loose there and he's run wide, and that's like Adam Gosling comes down the inside here, so it's now up to 3rd place for Adam Gosling, and he's looking for 2nd place.
Yeah, Gosling didn't need an opportunity, you know, didn't need to be invited twice there as well. We saw him just run a little bit straight in there on the draft, although he just bumps into the back of Bell there and actually slowed his momentum down, and that's let Sakovic back up the inside into third place.
So we must be on the final lap as Gosling, they're side by side with Bristow. They made a little bit of side contact, and that's just dropped them off the back of these front three, as we are pretty much on the last lap. I don't think they'll get across for another one, and so this is going to be the decider now. It's all about getting a good exit through this final turn here, the left-hander onto the banking. Can they make that move stick? They've just dropped back a little bit on Pete Harrod there. There's 0.6 of a second behind. Is that going to be a little bit too much behind? We'll find out, because we're coming now down the back straight. They're trying to use the draft. They're slowly gaining that ground, but not by much. Pete Harrod has got a very fast car to say that they're all in the same setup. Coming through the final turn now, and it's going to be Pete Harrod who comes across the line to win it, but who's going to finish second? Clinton Bell has got Magic Sakovic right behind him, but in the end it's Clinton Bell in second place, Magic Sakovic in third, with Adam Gosling fourth and Alec Bristow in fifth. Andrew Woodhouse, is he going to lose a place on this final lap to Charlie Richardson? He is, he's down to Charlie Richardson. He finishes in sixth place with Woodhouse in seventh and gets collected from behind by Jay Wright and Jim Flanagan. They finished 8th and 9th, with Philip Johansson in 10th place. Dave Crozier finishing in 11th, so really good for Team Mad this week out. Ben Warburton, he's finished in 12th place, with Neil Rocks finishing in 13th. Chris Sherburn 14th, with Trevor Blackburn was only 1/10 of a second behind him across the line in 15th place. A good result for Trevor as well, after all the bad luck that he's had this season. Stuart Atkinson in 16th place, with Max Wright in 17th. 18th for Ben Hackerson, and on pole position for the next race, the reverse grid pole, is Sam Reed in 19th. Then the car's one lap down. Michael Hall, who got involved in that second lap, start the second lap incident, he finished in 20th. Marcus Hagman 21st, and John Richardson 22nd, Chaz Draycott 23rd, Tristan Bodis 24th, and then the car's 2 laps or more down. Ryver Verke, Liam Atkins, James Leggett, Michael Jones, Ben Gregory, Neil Bamber, Matt Bunn and Perry Warburton. So quite a few cars either didn't finish or were more than one lap down, but good win there for Pete Harrod. He's got into their winning habit now. That's his second win in a row for him in this championship.
Yeah, great drive. He had to come through from further back as well, made some good moves, and when he needed to nail a lap, he did that and got himself that 0.6 of a second coming onto the oval, and that was the key. Really, he was under no pressure whatsoever on that final lap. Easy victory in the end. So great battles throughout the field though. Just looking at the gaps and the times, lots of little packs formed up throughout that race, and really close.
Absolutely. What we're going to do is just have a quick word with our second place driver in this race, Clinton Bell. And Clinton, it was very intense up at the front. You started on pole position, and you managed to miss out on that little fracas that happened behind you. If you just talk us through your race there, not quite able to make it work on that final lap. Clinton, this happens every week, Alex. Clinton, are you there? Oh, we're not going to have Clinton.
Hello,
he's here. We found the microphone. That's good. Yeah, Clinton, second place in that race after starting on pole position. You missed out on the incident that happened behind you. Just talk us through that. You disappointed to finish second, or are you happy taking the result there?
It's mixed feelings, really. Practice all day, I felt really quick, so I'm sort of a bit bummed about not winning, but I'm very happy with the second place and a clean race at the front.
Absolutely. You had the safety car come out, so you had everybody close up to you, and was there any point that you thought, I need to drop back into second coming into the final few laps to maybe try and get that run on that final lap to go across the line and lead?
A couple of laps from the end, there was sort of 4 of us bunching up, and I thought, I'm going to get taken out here. Still, I want to drop back and try and slipstream on the last lap. But being the racer I am, I never want to give up the place, so I just carried on.
And, well, going into the second race of the evening, round 12, you're going to be starting in 19th place, so actually that's quite high up for the reverse grid. Do you feel confident, given that you had people like Charlie Richardson who started 29th, finishing in 6th? You must feel a bit confident in maybe getting some good points in the second race.
If I'm honest, the last couple of rounds, the second race has been abysmal for me. I think I've not finished the last 2 meetings. So if I just get some points, I'll be happy. If I can get a top 10, I'll be really happy.
Well, we do wish you the best of luck for that second race. Just anyone you want to have a quick shout out to?
Just the teammates, Phil and Sam, and I'll give a mention to Lux Liveries. He does my paint. But apart from that, everybody that runs it, you guys, top job, guys.
Well, thanks a lot, and best of luck for the second race tonight.
Cheers, mate.
So yeah, Clinton Bell there for us, and Alex, we've got the reverse grid. We've seen what the reverse grid does in this series, not just in this series, but also in the Pro Series. It does throw a little spanner in the works and could produce some new race winners.
Yeah, the format with the reverse grid, I'm definitely a fan. Like you say, it throws up some surprise results as well. And I think with these sort of like dual races that we have here, rather than the 3, it does give an opportunity for other drivers to potentially have a little run at a championship that you might not as well. If you focus your attentions on having a good solid race and ensure that you're in a good reverse grid position as well. There's a chance that you can use that to your advantage. So it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. And of course, faster guys coming through is always interesting.
And one man that I do want to mention, and the person who always seems to be at the front of the grid for the reverse grid, Max Wright once again will be starting in 3rd place. I think that's either the 3rd or 4th week in a row that he's been starting on the first 2 rows of the grid. So he's really good at working out where he needs to be to get that reverse grid.
Well, yeah, like you say, so taking full advantage of that and hoping that he can chalk up a bunch more points, I guess.
Well, what we'll do is we'll just step aside for a moment for some commercials, but don't go anywhere, because the round 12 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway does promise to be an exciting race. This is, of course, the BSR Kia Club Series in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs, live here on Apex Racing TV. Stay where you are, we'll be right back.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides in at a 4, who's gonna be at the stripe, dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it at a 4, who's gonna be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome back to the BSR Kia Club Series here live on Apex Racing TV in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Designs. It's round 12, it's the reverse grid race, and well, after the excitement of that first race, Alex, we've got a possibly an even more exciting race this time round.
Yeah, this is going to be great. Lots of overtaking in that last race, lots of drafting. And I think the reverse grid is just going to make this pack absolutely just massive throughout this race. I really doubt we'll see any major breakaways to the front like we saw that last race. It's going to be, it's going to be really exciting to see how it pans out.
And of course, everybody's now got the feel of the car after having that first race. So hopefully, touch wood, there won't be any of the shenanigans that we had at the start of the second lap on the last race.
Well, no, let's hope not. It'd be great if we can keep everybody in the race this time as well. So, of course, you've got those quick guys that were taken out towards the front, and they're going to be coming through from the back as well. So, yeah, let's have a good, clean, hard fight out there, really.
Well, the second race of each round of each week of the series has produced a new race winner. Could we see another new race winner? Because Max Wright has been pretty close to winning a race the last couple of weeks with this reverse grid, but not able to make it last, unfortunately. So maybe he could make a move, but we could have somebody else making a move as well. There's quite a few race winners from last season that have yet to get a race win this season, so I'm just having a look through my stats here. You've got the likes of Adam Gosling, James Leggett, Tristan Bodice, John Richardson. You know, he had 4 race wins last season, hasn't won a race this season so far. Even our colleague Andrew Woodhouse, he won a race last season, but has yet to win one so far. So you'd like to see the likes of those getting a race win, but then again, you'd like to see somebody new getting the win as well.
Yeah, I think it's always good to see somebody else on the top step of the podium, and there's no reason why this race can't be won. I mean, it's going to be difficult for the guys who who qualified at the front to get all the way through. It's, with the large draft, it's just not as straightforward as it would be as some of the more traditional tracks, shall we say, where they can just line up their overtakes. All the drivers around them can fight their way back past with the draft, and of course they're close rivals that are going to be in and around them on the grid anyway. They're going to be constantly ebbing and flowing, trying to get to the front before their main competitor.
So as we look at the grid here, it's Sam Reed on pole position with Ben Hackerson. Now, he's a very quick driver as Ben. He's starting in second place. Max Wright in third with Stuart Atkinson in fourth. Trevor Blackburn in fifth with Chris Sherburn in sixth place. Then on the fourth row of the grid, it's Neil Rocks, Ben Warburton with Dave Crozier and Philip Johansson topping out that top 10. Philip Johansson, another one of the quick cars up there in the top 10 with Jim Flanagan, Jay Wright, former Pro Series drivers, Andrew Woodhouse, the Pro Series winner last season, Charlie Richardson, Alec Bristow in 15th, Adam Gosling, the championship leader at the moment before that last round, in 16th with Majek and Clinton Bell, 17th and 18th, and Pete Harrod, the race 1 victor from today, in 19th place. But we're getting ready now. The lights will come on that gantry, and we're getting ready now for round 12 of the Kia Club Series here on Apex Racing TV. The red lights are on, it turns green, away we go from the start, and Ben Hackerson makes a good start on the outside of Sam Reed going into turn 1. Will we get through clean again? Oh, there's contact, and it's Max Wright involved. There's a big accident. This is huge. Well, we're definitely going to see the safety car this time out, as there goes the yellow flag. So well, we were hoping that we'd make it through without a safety car, but unfortunately it's happened again.
Yeah, unfortunately that is just a pure case of cold tyres there. Everybody getting a little bit loose, people were sideways going into that corner, and there was no just nowhere for anyone to go there. As soon as a couple started to into a bit of a slide and covered the whole racetrack there. It was just like, oh dear, this is not going to end well.
I tell you who was a very big innocent victim of that. That's Andrew Woodhouse. He got collected by Adam Gosling, the championship leader. Now, that's a big key thing there. He got collected because Adam Gosling was round the outside and lost control, and it just brought the car back in front of him. One of the Warburton's cars going for a little bit of a breakdancing down the road, rolling down the road. The team Mad Cars getting involved. I think it's easier to count who wasn't involved in that, to be honest.
Yeah, I have to say there was some people coming in from the back that were steaming in there as well, just so quick. They were never going to get it stopped as well. So yeah, just people just need to perhaps just calm it down a little bit on these opening laps. Everybody knows that the tyres are not good, so yeah.
And it is, as we've seen, it is a very, very tight first corner. Is that it was Max Wright who basically started it off, just catching the side of Ben Hackerson, and those two going sideways, everyone else trying to avoid it, and just chaos ensued in that first turn. But we've got a caution at the moment, so we've been behind the safety car. Andrew Woodhouse, we were hoping to have a word with him. We may not be able to get a word with him because I don't think he'll be best pleased at the moment in that car.
No, probably best to leave him be. He's had to get a tow back to the pits as well because he got stuck on the wall, so just compounded his problems. And I think that's probably his night's racing done and dusted because he's already going to be a lap down.
So, to go through the standings as we are at the moment behind the safety car, Philip Johansson leads this race. He started in 10th place with Jay Wright in second. He started in 12th. So that's absolutely crazy, as you say. In third place, Alec Bristow, he started 15th. And Jim Flanagan is in fourth with Liam Atkins in fifth. Up from 26th on the grid is Liam Atkins. So all that chaos has put him right up the front there. Then Chaz Draycott and James Leggett there in 6th and 7th with Michael Hall. That's good for him. He's moved up to 8th place in the standings at the moment. Tristan Bodis in 9th and Marcus Hagman in 10th place. Ben Gregory, he's got quite a lot of damage. Well, actually no, he doesn't have that much damage actually. He's in 11th place, but a man with a lot of damage is Clinton Bell. He's got quite a bit of front damage, so he may be coming into the pits this time round. But yeah, nobody who started in the top 10 is currently in the top 10.
Yeah, crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, that really was where everything kicked off, and that's why it was such a major one as well, because it was the front guys really that had the accident, and everybody else was just piling in on there, and just, those drivers a bit further back were fortunate to be able to somehow find a way through it all.
So in the pits at the moment, we've got Sam Reed, Ben Hackerson, Stuart Atkinson, Trevor Blackburn, Neil Rocks, David Crozier, Andrew Woodhouse and Michael Jones. There's a Warburton's car coming in as well. He's coming in with damage. That's Ben Warburton. As I said, it's easier to say who wasn't involved in that. Clinton Bell, he's just been into the pits to repair his car, so he's coming out now. Yeah, it's decimated this field, but with the safety car, hopefully they'll be able to get going and catch up to the field.
Yeah, we've still got a reasonable grid out there. I think when everybody's had their repairs, we could be looking at maybe 23 cars on the lead lap, which we should be able to get a good race out of that.
So yeah, just coming back out onto the oval section is Philip Johansson behind the safety car, and it's a Club 73 car again that's at the lead of the pack at the behind the safety car, because of course it was Clinton Bell who was at the lead of the last race behind the safety car. Will he do something similar and just keep up with the pace car and just go as soon as the pace car goes? Because I would have thought it would be better just to back them up.
Yeah, we've got a relatively clean restart, didn't we? So in a way, I really hope that he does exactly the same thing, because we don't want to repeat what we just saw, really. Otherwise, we won't have many cars left.
And the lights are out on the safety car, so we will be going racing again this time by. As well, we've got, as you say, we have got 23 cars on the lead lap by the looks of things. So hopefully not lost too many other cars. There's a couple others are coming out the pits as well. So those cars that have towed, they're coming out just trying to get those final couple of positions, because points are down to 26 in this championship. So if you finish below 26, you're not in the points. But anyway, we're going to come round to the final turn of this Charlotte course. Philip Johansson right up behind the safety car. He's wanted to get going now, and he does, and he gets the jump on Jay Wright. Jay Wright caught napping there a little bit behind the safety car, so Philip Johansson able to make that gap already. Alex Bristow in third. Jim Flanagan looking to the inside, trying to get down the inside of Bristow, but not making it by this time by. Liam Atkins, as we say, in fifth place, with Chaz Draycott, the series organiser, in sixth place, and James Leggett in a good position for him in seventh, although he's got Michael Hall behind, and Michael Hall will be seeing the red mist a little bit after that first race, getting involved in that second lap incident.
Yeah, of course he needs to have a good race here as well if he's going to keep his championship alive. So that was a disaster, that first race for him. So he needs to work his way up there and see if he can get onto the podium if at all possible. One driver is slicing his way through the field as somebody goes off. I'm not sure who that was. But yeah, I know it's Pete Harrod was slicing his way through the field already as well. So expect him to be putting in a good show towards the end of this race.
Yeah, Pete Harrod has made his way past Liam Atkins. So Liam Atkins has had something happen on this lap, because he's dropped back a little bit. He was fifth, he's now dropped back down behind Pete, down to 12th place. But Pete going around the outside of Marcus Hagman now, trying to make that move around the outside. And Pete Harrod, is he going to make that move? There's a bit of a gap in front of them though to Ben Gregory, so he'll have to try and make that gap up in the infield section. But now, late on the brakes into that first turn, Pete Harrod makes that move stick around the outside. We've seen that move happen a few times already tonight, and it's happened again as one of the Team Mad cars is off on the side of the track.
Yeah, and it was Pete himself who's pulled that move off a few times, so very sort of used to that move now. And we just hearing it was actually Liam that went off as well. That was the car that I just managed to sort of spot off out of my window here.
And Jay Wright has moved into the lead of this race, so he's made his way past Philip Johansson on his lap, so he's up into the lead. Philip Johansson though, he doesn't want to give that up quite so easily, so Jay Wright having to go defensive. He's trying to take the low line. There's a lapped car or back marker ahead of them on the track, but not close enough to take advantage of the draft. But around the outside goes Philip Johansson, not able to quite make it. He just tries and ducks back in a little bit to get a bit of that slipstream. But now down into turn one, we've seen it happen a few times around the outside. We just saw Pete Harrod do it, but Philip Johansson not able to make it work this time, and that's allowed Alex Bristow to close right up to the back of Philip.
Yeah, Bristow's got a great run, and so has Flanagan. Flanagan has a little look up the inside. He's late on the brakes, manages to hold that inside line. He hasn't got the move completed. They're still side by side. He's got a slight better exit than Bristow there, so he moves up ahead of that CQR car.
And we've got a battle behind with Michael Hall. He's up to 7th place. Tristan Bodis in 8th place. Ben Gregory is down in 9th now behind Tristan. They've got a back marker ahead of them. Pete Harrod now has managed to catch up that gap that was ahead of him to Ben Gregory, so that's done him good on that lap to make up that ground. He's in 10th place. Liam Atkins has dropped back behind now. He's really struggling so far today, but everyone else just seemed to be one line after the other. But up at the front, Philip Johansson around the outside of Jay Wright now going towards the start-finish line. We've got that black traffic ahead. Is he going to get out of the way? Yes, he is. Trevor Blackburn out of the way of the leaders, so that's good work from him. But Philip Johansson round the outside. Can he make it stick through this turn 2 into turn 3? And yes, he does, down the outside, Philip Johansson, to take the lead back from Jay Wright.
Yeah, another great move round the outside. Managed to hold his car all the way there and knew that he would have the high ground going into the next sector, and yeah, absolutely takes that position and just needs to try and get a little gap if he can through this infield, or he'll be vulnerable for similar kind of move that Jay put on him to get the lead in the first place.
Jim Flanagan has had a turn in fortune in this championship because he finished well in that first race, and so far he is up to 3rd place in this race, really doing well for the Team Mad driver there at the front of the field. But well, he's dragging along with him Alec Bristow, James Leggett and Michael Hall, who's now up to 6th place, so he's managed to dispatch Chaz Draycott in that Team Iglazing car, so he's up to 6th place now for Michael.
Yeah, good drive so far. Obviously, he needs to get up to in and around like Philip Johansson as well, one of his championship rivals right now. Just having a look where everybody else is. Of course, Gosling, championship leader,
Oh,
way
Johansson's
down.
run wide. Johansson's run wide into turn 1. That's allowed Jim Wright the chance to go down the inside, but Johansson managing to hold it round the outside, and here comes Jim Flanagan trying to make the most of it. We've seen him make one move there, and round goes Jay Wright. Oh, does he collect anyone else? No, he doesn't. So good work from everyone else to avoid Jay Wright, who was coming back onto the track. But well, Jim Flanagan with a robust move, shall we say, down the inside into second place.
Yeah, I'll pick up that place, but I'm sure Jay won't be very happy with it, and I'm surprised Jay didn't get a slowdown penalty to boot with that as well. So, but got away with that one, and yeah, he's still in the draft, so still in with a shot at this race.
We have lost from this race Ben Hackerson, Sam Reed and David Crozier. Trevor Blackburn is currently the last of the runners, 2 laps down in a very damaged car. But at the front, it's Philip Johansson who's made a little bit of a gap. He's 0.6 of a second ahead of Jim Flanagan now, who's got Alec Bristow all over the back of him, going onto the apron in fact. Maybe looking down the inside, there's a little bit of contact as well. And that's allowed James Leggett to make the move around the outside of Alex Bristow, but not able to make it stick. And here comes Michael Hall, one of the championship contenders. He's making the moves forward. He's up to 5th place ahead of Jay Wright.
Yeah, wants to get that move done on Leggett now if he can. Does look particularly quick out of the exits. Leggett obviously battling with his teammate as well right now. So James in a bit of a CQR sandwich out there.
Absolutely, yeah. The CQR team really working together well, and Alec Bristow was boasting a little bit earlier in the season that he was the best of the team. It's not proving so at the moment, but James Leggett now in the draft, Alec Bristow in the draft of Jim Flanagan, and this is all allowing Philip Johansson to pull away at the front. He's now a second ahead of these guys, and they have to get a move or maybe work together to pull forward, as here comes James Leggett round the outside. Alec Bristow making it 3 wide, going into the final 2 turns, and here comes Michael Hall around the outside of his teammate. Maybe Alec Bristow's let him through, but here he comes around the outside of Jim Flanagan as well. Jay Wright is following Michael Hall through as well, but Jim Flanagan is side by side with Michael Hall into that first corner. As Mayo's getting close with Jay Wright once again, is Jim, but Michael Hall still around the outside of Jim Flanagan. He's going to have the inside into this right-hander. Jim Flanagan, we know he's a hard racer, and well, he's not going to give that place up too easily, but Michael Hall able to make it move, and Jay Wright may be thinking of a little bit of revenge there, just sticking the nose in on Jim Flanagan, but decided against it.
Yeah, good sportsmanship from him not to retaliate on that one. But yeah, great from Michael there. A couple of places in that lap, and managed to do it in such a way that he still's got the slipstream on James Leggett ahead of him as well. So Leggett's still just about in the draft as well from Johansson. So I'd expect to see these 3 close up a little bit in the final 7 minutes of this race.
Final 6 minutes of this race, in fact. It's all flying by as this race. We've got cars going side by side here. It is Jay Wright and Jim Flanagan with Alec Bristow looking down the middle of them. We've got Ben Gregory and Chaz Drake up behind going side by side as well. Pete Harrod on the back of them, 3 wide going down the pit straight now. It's all getting a bit close. Will they make contact? No, they won't. And Chaz Drake, where's he going? He's going straight on at the first corner. That's cost him big time. And Pete Harrod down the inside of Alec Bristow. He's looking busy, but can't quite make that move stick, as Ben Gregory's lost a couple of places as well.
Can I just say, I think Chaz realised that he'd messed up there, and the only thing he could do was like, well, let's gun it and hope that we get there before everybody else.
Jay Wright looking around the outside of Jim Flanagan. If he goes around the outside here, it gives him the inside on the next corner, and that's what he's done. Through into that 4th place is Jay. At the front, James Leggett is slowly catching up the gap. It's only 0.7 of a second now to the leader between Philip Johansson and James Leggett, with Michael Hall right behind Leggett. Maybe Hall just working with Leggett, trying to bump draft him down to get it closed up, that gap.
Yeah, I thought just as I had a look, thought for a minute, but no, it looks like yeah, if he can get an opportunity to get by, he'll be straight round. God, little bit of traffic as well to contend with. Slowly
Oh,
lets off and moves up.
this battle further back. Jim Flanagan, Alec Bristow, Jay Wright, they're 3 wide into turn 1, and Alec Bristow down the middle of all of them has taken 2 places, but Jim Flanagan not giving that place up. Oh, there's a little bit of contact. Pete Harrod just knocking Jay Wright, but manages to keep out of it. There's a little bit of contact ahead. Jim Flanagan just getting into the back of Alec Bristow, but Bristow managing to hold on to that place. A fantastic move down the middle of those 2 to take that 4th place.
Yeah, ballsy and paid off as well. You don't see many moves like that where they don't end up all in a big pile, and that time come off and look spectacular.
Can tell you, Chaz Draycott has fallen all the way down to 22nd place after that mistake of his, so disaster for him. Philip Johansson has pulled out that gap again on this lap, so James Leggett and Michael Hall having to do the work. Maybe James Leggett just holding up Hall around the infield section with only 3.5 minutes left in this race. Hall maybe needs to get the move done on Leggett to try and close up that gap.
Yeah, it seems to me these guys are battling now, and it's just letting Johansson disappear a little bit, and this is exactly what Philip wants them to do. Keep on battling out there. I don't want you guys to get up to me.
Philip Johansson, of course, who won last week at Bathurst, and it's always an achievement to win at Bathurst, and well, he's trying to make it another win in this week as we've got drivers all. You look at the gaps between these two. There's Ben Gregory alongside Jim Flanagan now. It's going side by side through that infield section. It's not the widest of infield sections through here, but managing to go side by side all the way through it. And Ben Gregory, I think he's got about the only clean Kia out there.
Yeah, doing well, Ben. Needed a better race after the first one as well. Car was absolutely destroyed on that after he, unfortunately, should we say, turned back into the traffic. But yeah, much better race up to 7th place. Definitely showing what Ben's made of.
And I can tell you we've lost Trevor Blackburn, Andrew Woodhouse, and we've also lost Liam Atkins as well, so they're all out of the race. But now 3 wide, going for the lead. James Leggett down the outside of Philip Johansson. Michael Hall trying to basically see what happens in front of him, but Leggett, he can sniff a victory here with 2 minutes left in this race. Down the inside into that infield section. Hall maybe trying to follow him through and in contact with Johansson, and Johansson, almost collected Hall again and into the wall there. That's a disaster for Philip Johansson after leading for so long.
Yeah, what can you say there? It's just gets tired, gets turned, and just can't get the car collected back. I'm just gonna have a little see if I can look at the replay myself and see what went on, because yeah, all of a sudden his car just jinks back over to the left, doesn't it? And it's into the tyre wall. It's going to continue, but it's way down.
That car has a lot of damage. I don't think it's steering straight either, so he's going to have to pit. But James Leggett at the front of this field, never mind that, he's at the front at the moment. As we're coming round the final turns, we'll surely get the white flag this time by, because we'll only have about a minute as they go across the line. And Leggett is trying to hold on to that lead from Michael Hall, because he surely realises that Hall is maybe quicker through that infield section, but Hall maybe playing the smart game, just holding back at the moment.
Yeah, it's all going to be about this last lap. I don't think they're going to get through to complete another one, so time it right coming out of the onto the over section.
Alex Bristow's just made it past Jay Wright into 3rd place. This could do well for CQR's championship hopes as well, Jay Wright behind him, Ben Gregory as well. It's a real gaggle as that pack there, but at the front, Michael Hall almost making contact with James Leggett as they come in now onto the oval section, and well, Michael Hall is in the perfect place for him.
Yeah, really tucked up already. Perhaps he's only got the side draft now. This is going to make it a little bit harder. He would have wanted a little bit of run. Cuts back, goes underneath the apron, contact, and that's not good at all. And both drivers, I think Hall's somehow going to survive this. He's going to take the victory, but I think that will definitely get looked at by the race officials. You're not allowed underneath the white line to make an overtake, and that was, blatant.
Well, Alex Bristow, there's contact with Bristow and Gregory across the line they go. And, well, that's going to be another one that's going to be looked at as well, I would think, because Bristow got tagged right at the end there, so just carnage going on towards the end of that race, but everyone managing to get round there, so it was Michael Hall who crossed the line in first place. But as you say, the stewards will maybe have a look at that because he did go onto the apron. Jay Wright is shown as second place with Ben Gregory only just behind him in third. Pete Harrod in fourth, with Alex Bristow going across the grass there on the pit straight in fifth place. Tristan Bodis in sixth place. That's a good result for Tristan there. Maciej Sakovic, one of the championship rivals, he finished in seventh place. Jim Flanagan, a good solid race finish for him in eighth place, although he will be disappointed after being up near the front earlier on in this race. Neil Bamber, ninth place for him, with Roy Ververke in 10th place. Marcus Hagman in 11th, with Adam Gosling, the championship leader going into this week, is finishing 12th, so not a good week for Adam Gosling, so he'll be hoping for a better week next week. James Leggett in 13th, with Perry Warburton in 14th, Clinton Bell 15th, and the last man on the lead lap was Christopher Sherburn in 16th place. Then the cars that were one lap down, John Richardson in 17th, Philip Johansson in 18th after that incident going into the wall, having a lot of damage there. Neil Rocks in 19th, with Stuart Atkinson in 20th place. Then 2 laps down, Chaz Draycott, Michael Jones in 22nd, who's doing laps around the oval at the moment. Charlie Richardson 23rd, Ben Warburton 24th, with Max Wright in 25th and Liam Atkins in 26th. Whether he gets points for that, well, we'll have to wait and see. And Andrew Woodhouse, Trevor Blackburn, David Crozier, Sam Reed and Ben Hackerson all not finishing this race. And, well, I don't know what to make of that, Alex. It was close racing for most of it, but just a couple of incidents maybe just spoil it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe right at the end there, a bit unfortunate. I mean, I don't think we expected anything less, did we, from this circuit? There's just the nature of it with the oval there and the massive amounts of slipstream, so we always knew it was going to be feisty tonight, and yeah, I think we've seen everything in those two races that we possibly could do. I mean, I thought the Pro Series was a little bit crazy sometimes, but yeah, that was a whole nother level.
Well, we're going to speak to the man now who finished in first place in that race. Whether he keeps that first place will be maybe for the stewards to decide. But Michael Hall, congratulations, finishing first after starting on 20th in the grid. Just first of all, with that first lap incident, just talk us through what you saw there going into turn one.
A mess is what I saw. There was just cars everywhere. Even after the yellow flag come out, people still driving into each other.
And, but you were able to get through though, were you?
Yeah, I just crawled through.
And then we saw you sort of making your way slowly through the field. Just it seemed to be every lap you were making up a position or two. So you seem to have the pace here, and we're making it count in the second race.
Yeah, quite surprised really in the second race because I haven't driven the track before tonight, to be fair. So didn't have a great race in the first one. Ended up in the wall. Go on.
And well, it's it's the elephant in the room. We have to ask about it. That last lap then with James Leggett. Just talk us through what happened there for yourself.
He moved over. Simple as that. He knew I was next to him. Other than that, not much I can really say about it.
But did your car have much damage from that? Because you did hit the wall yourself, and was it just lucky that you had that gap there to just be able to get across the line in first?
Yeah, the car was a bit of a mess. Lucky that we had a gap behind really, but had it coming together with Jahan. Not really happy about either of them, but happens.
But it was a good race for the team though, because Alec Bristow ended up finishing fifth, although he got tagged on that last lap as well across the start and finish straight. So, but still some good points for the team though.
Yeah, good points for the team. I think Foul Race haven't had the greatest of nights, to be honest. Yeah, I think we should have gap out a bit more. But me taking one of the admins out, I might not keep that first place.
If there's one person you don't want to take out, it's the admins.
Well, yeah, I've learned that already. It's who you take out.
So, just finally going into... We've got, of course, the 2-week break now.
Thank
for
God.
that. So yeah, for the Christmas and New Year. So it's Brands Hatch Indy, which of course is a track that you've been to many times in real life, and a track that you enjoy, especially the Indy layout.
Yeah, love it. One of my favourite tracks. So hopefully, I think the second half of the season there's a lot of good tracks on there for me. So hopefully we can kick on now and face down Gosling if he's still in the lead.
Absolutely. Well, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to while you're here on the commentary?
I want to say well done to Alex, my teammate. He's had a really good night tonight. I think he's got 160 points. So really good result for him. About time he pulled his finger out.
Well, we'll look forward to it in 2 weeks' time when you're at Brands Hatch Indies. Well done, Michael, for
Cheers, mate.
fantastic result.
Cheers.
So yeah, Michael Hall there for us. So there you go. We've got it from Michael saying that James turned across him. I'm just seeing if James is available actually, which he is. So Alex, do you want to just have a quick word with James about that race?
Yeah, hi James, welcome to the commentary booth. Obviously sitting pretty, going into that last lap of the race there, hoping perhaps for a race victory. Just first off, talk us about through the actual race, the first lap, the incident there, and then obviously let's touch on that final incident.
Yeah, first lap was interesting. Everybody ahead seemed to fall off. I managed to get through unscathed somehow. I don't know quite how, but I'll take that. Through the race, then it just slowly picked people off. It was Philip Johansson put up a good race. We had a good little battle. Him, me, and obviously Michael was just behind us the whole way. Yeah, and then that last lap. Yeah, well, there's not much you can say about that, to be honest. Certainly not something that's not going to get me in trouble. There might have been half a car gap between me and the. I'm just watching it now. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Obviously, I'm not fully up to speed with the rules or anything else like that. Is there anything in place to say that you're not allowed below the apron? Of course, I called that straight away just from sort of personal sort of experience and perhaps some of the iRacing rules. But I don't know if there's anything different within the actual series that says you are or you're not allowed to drop down below there.
Well, it's part of the iRacing rules, which kind of tags onto this. There's nothing set in stone that I'm aware of, but that's pretty crappy racecraft. I don't know.
Well, I mean, let's move away from there. Obviously, it was disappointing for yourself, but the positives for yourself is you were up there, you were fighting strong, had a chance for a win, something that you can perhaps build on for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I'd certainly like a return to the front. Obviously, I was a bit nearer the front at the start of the season and dropped away a bit. I quite like Charlotte. I'm not the quickest, but I don't know. Bit of luck and it would have all been different, but and one of those things. We go on to the rest of the season, and I'm sure the second half will be good fun.
Yeah, Paul was saying we've got a couple of weeks off now as well. Are you going to do anything? In the 2 weeks, get yourself prepared, ready for the next round?
Yeah, I think we're going to be hosting something or other. Whether we try something with the trucks that are freebies, the NASCAR trucks,
Awesome.
Just something a bit different.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Yeah, should be fun.
All right, James. Anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you go?
Phil Wilkie of Loyalty and Devotion Clothing, and also the Bearded Barber, same person, sponsor of the Power Slide Motorsports cars. Obviously my teammates Stuart Atkinson and Ho Chan Lee, who was a bit poorly and couldn't make the race today, which was a shame. He would have gone well here, I think, but yeah, that'll do. Obviously thanks to yourselves for hosting. Cool.
Thanks a lot, James. Yeah, hard luck again. Not much more we can say to that one. It was there in your grasp, and just to the end.
Yeah, one of those things.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, James, for that. And I'm just going to bring Chaz Draycott, the overlord of this championship, and Chaz, we've had the first half of the championship, going into the second half. Yeah, what's been your thoughts of the series so far?
Well, first thoughts are we're not coming back here.
Yeah, you didn't have the best of rounds, did you, really, Chaz?
No, the funniest thing really was that, I mean, well, me and Ben obviously got involved in the incident in the first race, but out of all people that took each other off, it was me and my new teammate and my other teammate. So we were having a bit of a laugh about it in chat, but at the same time, I want to say that we were a bit disappointed with tonight, to put it that way. But yeah, it's good fun really at night because it looks cool, but yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing this again.
Yeah, especially with the colder track temperatures, people maybe just struggling a little bit with that, with the pit setup. But as I say, we're going into the Christmas break, so just to round up the season so far, we've had Adam Gosling leading into this round. Obviously, we don't know how the results will be affected going into this Christmas break, but what's your thoughts so far? You're positive? You're happy with how things are going in the championship so far?
Yeah, absolutely loving it. The racing's been really close all throughout. And week to week, you don't know who you're going to be racing against, who you're going to be close with, and that's what I love about it. I mean, it's like, look at Clinton in race 1 tonight. I mean, fair enough, I don't want to say like he's slow or anything, but I base my sort of aim around where Clinton is, because we were very close in the pre-season for the first season that we did, and I've noticed that we've always been quite similar on points and so on, so I've based where I aim to be on where Clinton is. And round Charlotte, we were saying earlier that even last year he's unmatched. He's really quick round here, but you never know how he's going to be from week to week, and that's what I love about it. There's a lot of varying talent, and no matter who you're against, you always have close battles. It's been a really good series so far. It's had its hiccups. I mean, it's had its incidents and things that need to be looked at, but that's racing and it happens, doesn't it?
And I have a funny feeling you're going to have a few that's going to be looked at from this week as well, aren't you?
Maybe. Yeah, change the answer to yes.
But yeah, so we have the break for Christmas now, and we'll move on to Brands Hatch Indy at the start of January.
Yeah.
Is it a track that you personally enjoy racing at?
Not when there's 37 cars now, but it'll be good fun. It's a nice short little track. It's always, I suppose there's a lot to go on from lap to lap, so it'll provide quite a lot of close racing really. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, don't get me wrong, but you never know what's going to happen with these lot. They're all absolute nutters, a lot of them.
And hopefully Alex Bristol will have fixed his clutch again for Brands
Yeah,
Hatch after the first round.
And if there is a safety car, I won't throw it before I get to the line.
And just finally, anyone that you just want to give a quick mention to?
Yeah, actually, I've got a friend of mine on the phone right now, my mate Adam. He watches all the broadcasts and everything. He's been watching the Pro Series with me for a good few months, and he actually does a really good Stewie impression, so I'm going to get him to do it on the phone now, if that's alright. Hang on. Here you go, Adam.
Oh, we can't hear anything.
Hang on, say it again.
Yes, Brian, I'm a stripper.
Okay. Thanks for that. That's something new for a sim racing broadcast.
I'm overdoing my admin privileges.
As always, Apex Racing TV, groundbreaking coverage here on YouTube.
You know it.
And, well, thanks a lot for that anyway, Chaz.
It's alright, I like maintaining my professionalism, lads.
No worries, well, take care, and
See you later,
have a good Christmas, guys.
And you, have a good Christmas and New Year, everyone watching as well. Nice one.
So yeah, as I say, 2 weeks break, then we are back on the 3rd of January. Yep, we are 3rd of January, Brands Hatch Indy circuit, and it's, as Chaz was saying, it's a small, compact circuit, but always plenty of action happens there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It could, I don't think it'll go the same way as what we're seeing tonight, but certainly there's going to be, elbows are going to come out here, there, and everywhere. So, going to be, give it a couple of weeks break, but there's going to be an exciting race to tune in and watch for sure.
Absolutely, and well, Alex, thanks a lot for stepping in while Dan was away, being a not quite an award winner, but third place. That's still very good, considering that he was the only person in that award category who wasn't a champion. So very well done to Dan once again for his third place in Club Racer of the Year at the Downforce Radio Awards. But yeah, thanks a lot for stepping in, Alex. Always good to have you on the commentary booth, and yeah, it was good racing, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I'll be back for sure if you know, if there's ever a time when you need.
Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year as we round out this broadcast here for the BSR Kia Club Series in association with Club 73 Karting and XL Design.
Some help.
Absolutely. So yeah, so from Alex Simpson, from me, Paul Smith, and from Samuli Kumo on the cameras, we do all wish you all a good night.